Thank you so much, everyone, and welcome back. I certainly hope wherever you are in the world, you are feeling lifted, connecting, and enjoying the very best of your life. I want to talk to you today about finding the strength to walk away. And now when you hear me say that at face value, the first thing you may think about is, okay, walk away from a relationship. I want to be a little bit more expansive than that. You can certainly apply what I'm going to share with you to finding the strength to walk away from a relationship, but there's so much in life that we may find we need to walk away from. Over the course of our evolution, we may need to walk away from a circumstance, from a place, from a thought pattern. So I want to expand. The territory when I say find the courage to walk away. I'm going to share a story with you, and it was a critical point, a pulse point in my life. I had to find the strength, and when I tell you that I literally had to find the strength to walk out of my life, I literally had to do that. I was living in a geographic region. The region itself is not important. I'm not going to necessarily mention it in this program because someone listening may live there, and I don't want to hurt or offend anyone. But I was living in a geographic region some years ago, and I think some of you can relate to this. The area was not only dying, it was not only something of a depressed area. My spirit was dying in this place. I was in a home that environmentally was just not, I was never really comfortable there. I had bought this home, but I was never felt safe, connected, and grounded there. In every sense of the word, it just, I don't think it ever was a fit, but the longer I stayed, the more and more clear it became to me that this was just not a fit. And I remember after a long, hard day at work, I pulled into my driveway, and I just looked up at this house. I looked at the windows. I looked at my driveway, and I could only tell you, I just knew in my spirit, girl, you've got to leave here. I saw myself literally like in a rocking chair, growing old with several cats. I just knew my dreams, my life, nothing that I wanted was going to happen if I stayed in this geographic region. And I can't explain it to you any more than that. And I firmly feel just like there's relationships we have to leave, there's places, homes, circumstances we have to find the strength to leave. And I was scared because, number one, I was on my own. I mean, really on my own at that point in this world. And I didn't even know how a move to a new place would look. You know, I just knew I had to make a move. And I will tell you, made a move I did. And I want to explain the process that I used before I got in my car. I didn't even sell the house, guys. I got in my car and I started driving, and I found a place to rent. I said, I'm going to find a place to rent and figure the rest out later. And everything came together eventually over the course of time. But here's what I did. That very night, I went into my home. I sat in my living room, and I said to myself, you know what? Instead of mentally running away from what you're afraid of. Because if you keep running away from it, you are never going to make this move, girl. You're just never going to make this move. I ran toward what I was afraid of. And I started asking myself a series of questions. And I literally did it backwards. I was like, okay, put yourself in this new geographic area. What are some of the things you're going to have to encounter being on your own, having to look for work? What are some of the things you're going to encounter? Well, first of all, it's going to be scary as hell because I don't really have any support system there. There are going to be days that are exciting because I'm just in a new environment. I can kind of tour around, drive around, see what's what. And there are going to be days that I feel bottomed out. What else might happen? It's going to be an adjustment period. It may be a year before I can get things, first of all, situated with this house, getting renters in here, and then getting myself situated where I'm going to be, the new place I'm going to be. What else are you going to have to plan for? One job may not do it. I may have to work multiple positions. And I just went on and on. What are some of the other issues? Well, I'm lonely as hell here. Nothing says that I'm gonna go to a new place and I'm gonna meet someone amazing and special. I could be solo a good long time over there too. I got to brace myself for that. So I worked it backwards. I forced myself to go into my fear and to imagine the best case scenarios, the worst case scenarios, and everything in between. And I made as many mental contingency plans as I possibly could. And I get busy. Putting the pieces of the puzzle together to get the hell out. And that is the step and the strategy I want to share with you. You have to work it backwards. And if it's time to make a change, you've got to set your mind, make your contingency plans, be real about what you could possibly face, the magnitude of it, the joy behind it. Be real about every possible conceivable scenario and make a move. And I say this, and I'm so a little bit emotional as I'm describing it, because as I sit here today in a completely new phase of my life, which I've been in for some years now, and it's just a different life. It's a new life, different life, almost precisely what I wanted and what I had imagined for myself. And I think back to that pulse point. Had I not pulled the trigger, so to speak, I can bet you even money that I wouldn't be making these videos. I don't necessarily think I would have had a YouTube channel. I wouldn't have my child. I don't think I would have my level of mental health that I have now. It's just something I knew in my spirit. The door had to close. And, if you're listening to this and there may be a habit that you need to walk away from. There may be a person. It could be a relationship. It's something that you would know in your soul that if I don't close this door, I'm going to go further into this area of my life, which represents a void. And it's something that only you can pull the trigger. I'm encouraging you to work it backwards. I'm encouraging you to go hand in hand. Go hand in hand with the divine, your Father God, and make that move. And it's not always going to be perfect. You can't always line it up perfectly. Mine didn't line up perfect. I'm not going to lie to you. My furniture, I left my furniture behind. It was a year and a half No, it was 2 years before I even went back to retrieve my furniture out of this place. It was that significant that I just had to get out. And you may hear it and say, well, Sheila, maybe you should have slowed down and thought it through. It wasn't that sort of thing. It was a sort of thing where you need to get the hell out and you need to go now. And, and the Lord supported me in it. I certainly, my preparation was prayer. I said, Lord, this is going down, and I'm pretty sure I'm getting the nudge and the wink and the nod from you. And every single thing that I needed to fall in place, it just fell in place. I can only give it to you from my right hand to God. That was my plan. And sometimes it just has to boil down to it. So I'm encouraging you, work it backwards, create your contingency, go straight into the fear, go straight into what you may need to face, get yourself mentally prepared for it so it doesn't topple you. Don't delve off into fantasy land. Get yourself prepared for what you need to do to move your life forward. I've never regretted it a minute, and I've never looked back. I hope this program has been helpful, and I will catch up with you soon.